Reminder. Hey guys, in 10 minutes, we're going to have like you guys can read the calendar. Are you sure? All right, so Edmund's going to join us. Oh, there's actually quite a few people. Good. All right, guys. I'm glad to see there's a bunch of you about to join us. We will get you out of the waiting room and into the main room. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of people today. Well, I guess RPR is more popular than I thought. I underestimated you guys. I didn't think you guys would care about this one. I'm very excited to do this with you today. I'm, of course, over in the Plainfield Joliet office. All of you guys remotely. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to mute yourselves if you wouldn't mind. And this is being recorded today so that you guys will be able to watch this over and over again if you so desire, or pass it on to an agent friend. So what are we doing today? Well, guys, we are doing Realtors Property Resource, which is probably the most underutilized resource of the realtor community. You pay for this as part of your MLS dues. You pay for this as part of your actually National Association of Realtors dues every year. So when you guys are in the field and complaining about your MLS dues, I feel you. Sometimes I complain about them too. But you have this one tool from the National Association of Realtors, which is so vital to you if you would actually use it. So I'm going to go ahead and get us casting on the office screen as well up here. Laura, could you come and fix this TV for me? Thank you. Like that does not look like my laptop right now. So if you are in the room at Joliet, you are staring at a purple screen. And for those of you at home, you are hopefully looking at my MLS regular login. So Realtors Property Resource is from the National Association of Realtors. And what it is it is probably the most comprehensive tool in terms of what you are able to go out and look for in resources as far as who owns a property, how much they owe, what's going on in the neighborhood. And if you are ever doing, thank you, Laura, if that will now work, let me turn on the cast for the please hold, guys. Okay, for those of you guys that, and Karen's sitting next to me going, well, I don't think I've ever logged into this before. This is why we're doing this training. So for those of you guys in the room, feel free to go ahead and log in as well, because I am going to be able to do this a little bit easier from my laptop. Okay, thank you. So I will go ahead and log in now. If you are new to RPR, so again, the way you get into RPR, I'm going to want to be able to do this way, is you go in through your MLS and then you click on Realtors Property Resource under the Tool tab. And then, so you'll see where it says RPR, Realtors Property Resource. So then when you're going to get into Realtors Property Resource, the first time you ever sign in, you're going to click on Create a New Account. And it's going to ask for what? Your NRDS number. Your NRDS number. I call it the NERDS number. The NERDS number. So you must have logged in at least once before. And once you click in here, you're going to be blown away with all the things you can do. Now, you know for a fact that I have already been playing in this for quite a while. And I realized it was almost so overwhelming to me that I needed to get additional training. So there is a huge amount of Realtor Property Resource training online. I gave you a startup hint in the coaching blog. And what it is the top 50 things you can do in the Realtors Property Resource. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the coaching blog just to give you a preview of all the things that we probably won't even have the time to go over today, but it's going to give you a little nudge as to what is all out there. So if you go into the coaching blog and then you click on topics, and then you click on RPR, you have this blog of all the different things that you can do to elevate your business with RPR. Again, this is funded by the National Association of Realtors, and it's its own little separate company that your dues fund. And it is a lot. So prospecting, valuation, listing presentations, open house, anniversary follow-up, but blah, 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 tons of stuff. If you guys at home wouldn't mind, and actually all of you in the classroom as well, go ahead and also right now download the RPR mobile app, RPR mobile app, because everything, almost everything that you can do on the mobile app is the same things that you can do on the desktop and laptop. So it is extremely, extremely mobile friendly. So again, then they'll say, once you're in there, they'll want your NRDS number the first time if you haven't already created an account. So let's go ahead and go into RPR for the very first time for most of us. When you are in RPR for the first time, you have this little toggle on the left-hand side between residential and commercial. You are probably going to stay on residential most of the time because most of us do mostly residential, but it is huge amounts of opportunity for you to also do research into commercial. And I'm going to go ahead and try to cast into the office TV again. It's Heather, I would say, let's not try that again for right now. We will come back to that another time. That's a little distracting. I'm sorry. So for those of you guys in the actual classroom, you just got to wait for me for a second. So on the left-hand side, again, we're going to use the residential toggle today. And then we are going to look into all the different things we can do to find property. So if you scroll down on the left-hand side, you will see a button that says distressed. It's a little red button that says distressed. Does everybody at home see that little red button that says distressed? Nope. Oh, you don't have a distressed button. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys told me that. So I think what you'll need to do for the first time then is you will need to click an area. So at the top, you do have that where it says location. And so you can select, by the way, your markets on the left-hand side, and that's where you'll then have a default of whatever market you'd like to choose to start. So you guys at home can see I've got that my markets, and I put 60657 because that's where I live. And so you can literally get every single person that is in distress, aka in foreclosure, right in your own neighborhood. And so right now, in the last 10 days, because I looked at this, I think over the weekend was the last time, but it's giving me the last 10 days, there's another new foreclosure, I should say a distressed property. So not yet back at the bank. Do you think I should probably get a hold of, for those of you guys at home looking at my screen, do you think I should get a hold of the owner of 549 West Oakdale, Unit 1E? Yes, probably I should, right? Because he's in distress. So I hope you're already seeing the value of it at home. I'm going to go ahead right now for a second and take a small pause in the recording so that I can adjust something in the classroom. And those of you guys at home, go ahead and pick your first market. How are you going to do that? On the left-hand side, you're going to click the word add, and then that's going to be your first market. And I would suggest you're wherever you guys live, whatever your zip code is at home. So give me 1 second. We're going to pause the recording, and then we are going to come right back to you in one moment. Not just for prospecting for foreclosures. And when I say foreclosures, I mean pre-foreclosures. So those are right there in your neighborhood, wherever your neighborhood is. What you want to do also, in addition to just kind of exploring that My Markets tab, let's take a look at one of the most powerful features of RPR, and that is the reports. So in the top menu, on the middle of that top menu, you're going to see a button that says reports. And so that reports tab has, quite frankly, almost too many reports on there. It's a little bit overwhelming. But as some of you remember from last Friday, remember these sessions are supposed to all build off each other. You remember that I showed you a neighborhood report, and a couple of you messaged me afterwards saying, where did you find that neighborhood report? Well, guess what? It's right in Realtors Property Resource. So Realtors Property Resource has these amazing different reports, and I'm going to run through with you pretty quickly here what the differences are in the reports. And so if you are in the classroom with me, please go ahead and click on the reports tab, and then you will also get to pick out a report. And so there is a property report, which is the report on the property that we are researching, if we're researching a specific property. A seller's report, which is massive and even clunkier than the cloud CMA reports that pop out if you don't customize them. A property flyer, which I don't love. But what I really do love is the market activity report and the neighborhood report. So for those of you at home, I'm going to go ahead and click on the market activity report and click on view sample. And so then that way you will see a little bit of what it looks like. So you can always view a sample. I would not waste a ton of paper and print these out. I would get to know them just through a PDF first. But these are amazing amounts of information about a specific area. So I'm going to use the Plainfield Joliet office today as an example. I don't necessarily know this area as well as I think Karen does, or either one of our other guests today, right? However, when I roll into Plainfield Joliet, I can definitely talk about the activity in the area based on what a CMA would do for me. But I can also just come in and just do this real quick market activity report. Thank you if you can fix that. Then the next report that I really love, in addition to that, is the, and I'm going to show it to you at home. Let me get down to it for you. That is the neighborhood report. The neighborhood report I love because the neighborhood report is all about the area, answering those questions that you may be afraid to answer when people go, how are the schools? How's the people? Who are the people that live in this area? And you're automatically going, I can't answer that. That's fair housing. Well, guess what? Realtors Property Resource has all that information pulled up in a way that you feel comfortable because you can just hand them this report. So the market activity report is great for an area. And then the neighborhood report is great for, I said the market activity report is great for what's going on in the area statistically, data-wise, in terms of the real estate market. And then the other great report is going to be, again, that neighborhood report that answers those questions that you may not feel comfortable answering. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to literally generate my first Realtors Property Resource neighborhood report. And it's going to take probably about a minute and a half. And there it is. It's done. And so we're now going to be able to click on Run Report. And then it will show up on your screen. And for those of you guys at home, again, hopefully you will be able to see this here in just a moment. And everyone in the classroom, I'll show it to you offline in a second.
If you want all of these in there, right? Like you don't have to take anything out.
So Heather asked a great question, guys, is that she asked, and again, at home, you can see what she's pointing to. She's saying, do you want the report elements checked off or not checked off, right? Okay, so, and you heard that little ding dong, that's the doorbell right now. It's not my brain firing on all cylinders today. I do keep them all because the thing is like, I don't know who, who wants what information in advance. So I just get it all out there. And by the way, if you don't like paper the same way I don't like paper, this is something amazing to do in your next open house. So I'm thinking of Kelly, you've got an open house on Saturday. I know you are on today. Wouldn't this be great to answer all the questions on the neighborhood? So, and it does have your branding. So you guys can see, I'm going to literally flip the screen around a little bit so no one has to be that close to me, but yeah, you can get my information that is got your little branding on it. And then it's got all of the report on the area. So neighborhood housing, all the different stats and charts that, again, you're not going to have how are you going to have the time to get this done? Normally, you're not. And a lot of it, quite frankly, I don't even know some of these areas.
Yeah.
So this is the report that really, to me, says, if you don't know this area, and even if you do know this area, this would be the best report to run. And I would go ahead and put that right into your open house under the marketing suite, expert marketing suite, because again, you're not printing out tons of paper. So what's the best script on that? Say, oh, and here's the text code. Thank you for coming to my open house. Here's the text code so that you can get all the information on the neighborhood. It makes you look like the neighborhood expert. I can come out and pull this data up and look like I know everything about Joliet. And, you know, I know how to go to the Starbucks. I know how to go to get to 7-Eleven. That's about it. But not now. I have all this great information. So the neighborhood report is what I would do first. But then this market activity report, let me explore that with you guys at home as well. Yeah, this is really easy. I shouldn't say it's really easy to do. It's a ton of information that's already at your disposal. It's already at your disposal. Let's go ahead and see the chat. Okay, Jeff, you do see it. Great. You already created the report. Good job. Good job. Oh, I love this, guys. Okay. Taisha, you got a question? You just put question in the box. Do you want to unmute yourself and actually ask a question? That's okay. It's Heather's doorbell. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this report now that we've done the market activity report. And because I'm already running that report, it should be done for us in a moment. Yay. Oh, that's that doorbell. It's the RPR doorbell. I'm like, Heather, turn that off your computer. Never mind. All right, guys. So let's look at this. So this is so we did the neighborhood report first, and that was 10 pages. And by the way, I've seen these go between like 8 to 10 pages and like 22 to 27 approximately on the market activity report. Look at this. This is really cool. The market activity report, month over month changes, 3 months, 12 months. So I love InfoSparks. You know, you guys have Wayne Beals in our office that's such a star and loves InfoSparks and talks about it a lot. I got to be honest with you, I almost kind of like this better because InfoSparks is one nugget per. So that's the thing. It's easy. And the thing is like nice. And they do it for you. So for example, you're tired of me like turning around and leaning into you in a second. This is all the different InfoSparks information, but built out in a more cohesive way. So I will always use InfoSparks because it's very visually stimulating. But guys, look at this. This is just a really overall comprehensive presentation. Now, what do I not like about this? It doesn't have the pictures of every property that it's comparing. It's not a comparison, it's not a CMA, but you can run a CMA through this technology. And the thing is you still don't have the pictures of all the other properties. So it still is not as great as Cloud CMA for an actual CMA. But we're not doing a CMA today, guys. We are saying if you're going to go on a listing presentation, bring this along or send in advance. If you're going to go on a open house appointment, this type of activity. And guys, what about if you did this for a neighborhood and then sent it to every single person in that area? Every single person in the area. You could do this as a hyperlink. You could download this and do this as a hyperlink. You could do it a dozen different ways, but look at all this interesting information in the area already printed up right there. So I want to, again, show you guys at home where we were so that you can start generating these reports. So we are just under the reports tab, okay? And in that reports tab, I'm telling you, I prefer the market activity report as a great informational or the neighborhood report as a great informational. And by the way, we're not even going to get into these today, but if you want to start exploring commercial, you remember your real estate license is for all real estate needs. You have commercial reports right there. Realtors Property Resource went through a massive change in the last 24 months. I never trained on it personally, because it was a clunky product. I didn't really see the value. And now I'm going, wait a second, guys, this is more information. This is basically like LoopNet, CoStar, and the MLS all piled into one, along with census data. And it's so visually stimulating. So that is why I ran out and got the certified trainer designation from Realtors Property Resource, because it is a lot of information. It's overwhelming. So my goal with you today is say, okay, let's get started by doing a couple reports together. And then let's talk a little bit about branding of it. So if you go to the right, all the way over to the right, you're going to see where at the top right-hand side, you may or may not already have a photo of yourself. If you do not, let's get that photo added now. You also should have that status tab the same way I do. When you tap on that, it should say MLS CIE status in green. Mm-hmm. That's because you have set it up, or the MLS, your local MLS is connected to it. And then we're going to click on profile. You need new pictures? Okay, we'll get you new pictures. Just get a photo in there for now. We can always change it later. Get your photo in there, and then your logo in there. So of course you have the office logo, and then you can put your logo right side by side that. Amanda, our amazing graphic designer, is on call for you to be able to do that.
Is it a right click on profile? Because mine's not doing anything.
What'd you say?
Is it a right click on the profile? Mine's not, it just keeps closing it out.
Well, then you click on the actual individual, you click on it twice. Click on it twice. And then if you want to change your password, you can do that, obviously. You can put whatever you want as your location, and then your email, and obviously your website. And now, guys, see on the right-hand side where it says RPR Mobile Access, you have a maximum of 4 RPR mobile access devices, and you will want to go ahead and get this on your cell phone today. The reason why is these reports can also be generated from your mobile phone. So if you are in a bind and you are on your way to a property and you go, I did not do any research before this presentation. Oh no, you can literally press a button and know what's going on in the neighborhood. And you can also get the information on any specific owner in the neighborhood. If you want to add any designations, if you've got them, they will actually be from NAR. So then that way, and actually, Laura, you're able to help them if they have a designation they need added to the MLS. Is that correct? Thank you. If you have an assistant, you can have an assistant there. I do not, so I do not put one there. And then news subscriptions, I would like you to go ahead and check off receive RPR updates and news. And then again, you just click save when you're done with that. But once you're done with that, your profile is set up and you don't have anything else to ever do in it. You really will not have anything else to do. These reports are available on any property and any neighborhood, even outside our MLS. So why is that key? What if you are going to, I'm going to rhyme, Kankakee, or another area that you don't necessarily have access to? Guess what? You can still be the bridge with a little bit of information to a friend of yours in a different market. So I have a friend, Noah, that some of you guys have actually even met Noah. Noah is from San Diego. He now lives and resides in Chicago, and he invests with me. He's amazing as an investor. He and I were talking about the San Diego market the other day. Well, do you know who doesn't live in San Diego and doesn't have MLS access there? Me. But you can absolutely go ahead and pull information from another area. You are not licensed there. You know, you are licensed to sell real estate, most likely only in Illinois. There, I think, is at least 1 or 2 of you on today that is licensed in other states. This is a great way to just start a conversation with somebody in another area, or that's talking to you about another area, and then say, you know, I have a great agent that's local, because obviously you're not going to probably fly there to San Diego or wherever and sell them a house. You don't have time to do that. You should be working in your primary market. But what you absolutely can do is be a resource for people on almost any market in America, because this is Realtors Property Resource, is a nationwide tool paid for by your MLS or paid for by your realtor dues across the country. So that tab is key there. There's also a marketing tab that if you want to prospect for folks. Now, I bet you that some of you were literally wanting that information first because that's what you want to do all day. And I get it and I'm excited about it. But I wanted to show you, for those of you that already have a need for the research, for the data. The data is key. But let's go ahead and click in that marketing tab at the top and then click on prospecting. And notice it says prospecting for residential clients and it says prospecting for commercial clients. Your license in Illinois allows you to sell residential and commercial real estate. This should be a very empowering session for you if you've ever wanted to explore commercial, because you have the data access now that you did not know you already had.
Is that not normal for states to allow both, or?
It is normal. Now that is to say, I'm not licensed in every state and I'm not well-versed in every state, but it is in the 4 states that I have taken and passed the exam. All of them allow the same license to work. The issue is you normally don't have access to the data, except you do with RPR. Nobody trains you on RPR. That's the thing, is that I realize this tool is so powerful, and at all the revamping and re-upping of the tool, because they almost canceled RPR a number of years ago. I'm not sure if Marky Lemons is on with us today at home, but RPR was very expensive for the National Association of Realtors to maintain. And so they were looking at going, should we cancel it? Or do we throw even more resources into it to make it more powerful? They chose the latter, luckily. And so now you have this tool that works for both residential and commercial. So let's click on prospecting for residential clients under the marketing tab. And then it says, here's how to refine your search. And by the way, what I don't like about this tool is that it does not have email addresses. Unlike Remind, it's going to feel a little bit like Remind in terms of data digging, but unlike Remind, it doesn't have email addresses. So it is not quite as fabulous. However, let's go ahead and click on the buyer tab first. And then we're going to go ahead and click research. And then now we're going to click on map search. So literally you see the little pair of shoes with the purple that's walking you through it. I mean, it's literally like Nick Libert touching your laptop screen and telling you what to do. I really would like this to replace me in my next life. And then it's going to literally say, would you like residential? Yes, we would. And then now it's going to say what zip code. I'm going to pick on my home zip code. Even though I'm in Joliet today, I know my own zip code a little better. So I am going to, in case I get stuck in a search here that I don't understand. And then now it says, now click the filters icon to expand and use the advanced search. So I mean, it's
dummies, guys.
I mean, this is great. Yeah, we're in here having a great time because literally this class is teaching itself. This is why I love taking the certification course too, because they just we have tried to make this so easy for you guys. We don't understand why more agents don't use it. And I said, I got to be honest with you, I never knew this tool existed. And they laughed and they said, that's why we would like you to get certified, because we know you will run your mouth everywhere about how great it is. So I said, yes. Okay, so now let's click on public records. And then we are going to go into, yes, search results using this filter. And then let's say, yep, we're all going to follow the steps.
What do you think dates should be?
I don't want to use dates yet.
Oh.
I think we should use the tabs because remember, we're trying to prospect for buyers this first time around. So I'm going to say single family. And then we are going to want to say price. Let's have fun. And let's say a minimum of $1 million. Let's start big today. And now we have 16. They really want us to get down to 500 records or less. And then let's say for beds, that's like, let's go crazy. Let's go up to $2 million as our base price point.
Oh, I don't have that around here.
Well, you know what? Let's say, I mean, maybe you do, maybe you'll have what, like one house then. So $2 million. Okay, we're down to 411 records. Hallelujah. So let's say, okay, next. And then you can check the absentee owner box to prospect. Lana Reiling, are you on this call today? Lana and I were talking about how to figure out in Remine how to prospect for renters. And yeah, there's a way in there and it's kind of okay. And it does have some email addresses. So we still like that product for that. But look at this, guys. You can check on the box that says absentee owner. And then every single one of those addresses is going to be what? A tenant. A tenant. So unlike having to have me stumble through a presentation to you to show you how to do this, Lana, here it is, literally cut and paste right here in the tabs. So now select 5, 10, and 10 to 15 years own is what their recommendation is. I mean, they're literally walking you through these steps. This is really cool. And then once you're set, click update and search. All right, well, I think we are. So we're down to 306 properties. Now, you can do mailing labels. Guys, a stamp is what now? I'm going to show my, because I have those forever stamps. Golly's like, I don't know either. 59, under 60 cents. Drive past that Starbucks. Do not buy that new drink, the concoction or whatever you wanted today. And go out and send 10 pieces of mail a day. You know, I cannot afford to buy you all stamps, but go to the post office and buy yourself some stamps and then do 10 of these a day. Because look, right there, guys, do you see that tab at home? There's the mailing labels tab. But by the way, you know I'm cheap. Free 99 is my favorite price. What would I do with this? I go ahead and click on create a report. Because someone at home who is using my account right now. I'm going to get you guys. Please hold. And I will come right back to you with that. Who is that? It's probably May. Actually, I think I know who that is that's doing that. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and go back in again. So if you were lost, guess what? I'll do it for you again because I have to do it again in order to get back in the tab. Hallelujah. All right. So click on marketing and then click on prospecting for residential clients, which, by the way, if you're already saying, well, I can't wait to do this for commercial, guess what? They're going to walk you through the same steps. So again, we're going to focus right now on buyers. And I have Karen doing it right next to me as well. And then they're literally saying, okay, Mr. Nick, click on start by clicking research. So you went to the marketing tab, you selected what you want to do, and now they're literally navigating you over to the research tab. This is like literally the ultimate in engagement because they're just telling you exactly what to do.
And I like it because I thought I was only telling it what to do because it was like my first time on here.
Nope. And now it's your second time on here. Yep. Heather's like, this is great. We're all going to be master trainers in 5 minutes. I swear to God, it did take me days to get through that certification, actually weeks, but this was one of their things. They're trying to make it all work like this within RPR so you can walk through all this stuff. So again, we're going to do the same. I'm going to do the same search as I did before, 60657. And then I'm going to say, okay, what filters do I want? And so I did public records, single family homes, at least $2 million. So I'm pretending I'm rich today. And then their goal is to get you down to under 500 properties in order to really get that search done well. And then click on advanced search. And they're navigating you through to that. They again want you to be less than 500 records. And then they're going to click on an additional fields that absentee owner, because our target today is buyers, not sellers. Our target today is buyers. And what do we know about the people that live in these properties? If the owner's absentee, who's the person that lives there? The renter. So we're going to target renters today. And then they want us to select 5 to 10 and 10 to 15 years owned, thinking that that's less of a transient opportunity there. Hello, Vince. How are you?
Hey, guys.
Welcome, welcome. And then once we're in there, then we have this list of folks. And again, what do we say we're going to do? You could click on the mailing labels, or you could click on print report or create report or print. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create report. And guys, if whoever is signed into my account right now at home, you're going to get it because I'm trying to do a class. Thank you. And so there is the opportunity to pull that report. So if you are at home and you want to go ahead and print out those mailing labels, you can do so. You can go ahead and print out that report. And here's what I would do with that. Every single one of those properties, then I would target the tenant in those properties. I would go right to forewarn. I would go right to forewarn. And also, where else do you want to go?
What report?
What report? You could do a seller's report, a market activity report. Okay. It doesn't matter because what we're trying to do is just get the information of the property. So when you've got the address of that property, so for example, that little one, I'm going to click on maybe the market activity. I'm not sure if I love that idea, or maybe the property report. Let's click on the property report and then do not send unsolicited email message. Well, of course, I would never do that. Mm-hmm. And then let's click on run report. And that's that. The property report requires a specific address of the property. So we go back into that marketing tab and then the research tab. You're going to want to print it out a different way. So it does not like it if you try to do the property report is property specific. Here's what I would do. Here's my recommendation. Get a list of those properties and then put the property address into your WISE agent. So does anyone have a property that they would like me to do this on where we can pull up the Cole Realty Resources report?
Oh, I mean, I have a private listing. That's that city one. I don't know if that will work though.
Well, it doesn't need to be a listing. We just need to have. So guys, if you're at home and you're saying, okay, well, I want to, now I've got this list of properties and I want to find out who lives there. Did you know that WISE agent is able to then one at a time, property specific, pull up the information on who's either living there or who's the owner. So you have the ability to go ahead and get the owner's information from the tax records, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know you can also find out who's actually living in the home? No. So let's go ahead and do this as an example. Again, at home, you can see this. If you're in the classroom and can't see my screen, we are recording this session. So let's go ahead and click into contacts in WISE agent. So we've jumped from RPR to WISE agent because we now have a list of properties that have absentee owners, right? I would like to know who lives in that property. So I'm going to use an example here of a property. And again, we're in this contact list. We're going to add a contact. And I am just going to put in a letter of a last name. I don't even know the last name of the person that lives there, right? Because we may or may not even know who the owner is. So we're going to say J, maybe, for example, was the last name, just the first letter of the last name. And we don't even know the last name. So we're just going to guess. We're just going to put an alphabet letter in there. And then you're going to put that one of those addresses that you got off of RPR, the absentee owners. We're going to put the address of the actual property in question. And then we are going to go ahead and literally just click on save. And what that's going to do is that's going to pull up the Cole Realty Resources information on that property for free. And you got an email address? Good job. Okay. So, all right. So I just guessed J is the last name. They pulled up additional information. Look at this. You click on, once you're in there, once you've got that person or that guess of a person added, you click on notes. And here's all the information. Look at this. What he paid for it, when he refied it, the lender information. All of that information there. And sometimes, guys, it will have, as Heather just said on her example, there was an email address there. There sometimes is a cell phone number, but at the very least, you've got further information on that homeowner right there. Wouldn't this be a great time to then go into Forewarn and get further information on that person? Mm-hmm. So RPR is going to help you filter down to what you want to know. Let's go ahead and do one more example, and then I'm going to go ahead and end our formal session today. And I've got some informal coaching with a couple people here. I'm going to click on that marketing tab one more time. Now, remember, we've gone into the reports tab, the marketing tab, and then the research tab. We've hit a couple key points today, and you are just barely tipping the surface of what RPR can do for you. So we'll click on the marketing tab and then say prospecting for residential one more time. And then this time, though, I'm going to click on the sellers tab. And then it's walking you through this fun step-by-step process again. So once we click on the research tab, so marketing, and then research, and then it said, next click on the research tab. And then see where it says prospect for clients. Again, we're going to go into the seller button and then click on research and then click on map search. And then they're reminding us that would you like residential or commercial? We want residential today. And then we're going to use that same zip code as an example. And then again, they want us to use the filters tab. The goal is to get it down to a certain number of filters. And remember, we did have a filter already set up from our last example. So we're going to click on reset. And then we're going to click on, so reset. Okay. And then you're going to click on next. And again, they want the public records, we don't care about the MLS right now, do we? We care about public records. So we're going to then click on the filter. And we want owner occupied directly to potential sellers this time. And then they are telling you, don't do 0 to 5 years, because guess what? The odds of those people moving are not quite as much, right? And then you again have the opportunity to print out mailing labels or print or create that report. And so now I've got way too many properties because I did not select my filters quite as good as I could have. But I will tell you this much, guess what? Look at all these data layers over that. And again, what else would you want to check maybe? Distressed? Wouldn't you want a distressed sale? You could go in there and select just for distressed and start marketing those people that have a potential short sale on their hands, right? Or you could do things that are everything that's not listed, obviously. You wouldn't want to prospect listed properties. Let's go ahead and even do this as an example for commercial for a second. So let's click on the marketing tab, prospecting for commercial clients. And let's say sellers. And again, same thing, research. And then we're going to click on that commercial tab. And then let's click on more filters. And again, we're not trying to search for things that are active on the market. We don't care. We want public records. And let's click on more filters. and you've got all the different commercial filters there in terms of property type. And look at this. What's this red one? Oh no, a foreclosed property right down the street on Sheffield. I might want that property. That looks like that could be a nice office space. Not another one. And then here's another foreclosure. 3530. Oh, wow. I know that man. Whoops. Okay. Well, this won't be a public training. Sorry, everyone. This will be on our private YouTube channel, not the public one. Isn't this fascinating? So guys, there's so much data for you to just start researching your neighborhood and start prospecting for these folks. And you've got Forewarn, you have Wise Agent, you have all these other tools to start talking to people with. Wouldn't this be a great place to start, though, to get to know your own area?
Mm-hmm.
So, does anyone have any formal questions? You've been using define, okay. So Donna, I just went over and did an example, but you can absolutely do that at home. So what would you send to these folks? Well, I would start off with, if they're a buyer, a potential buyer, Zenlist. If they're a potential seller, Zenlist. If they are anybody out there in the world, I think Zenlist is a great place to start because Zenlist also has commercial. It has places for lease. It has all of that information right built in. I'd love for you to start sending out the digital buyer and seller presentations like we've shown you. You've got that Move Concierge portal now, by the way, which is really easy to send out. I'll have a formal training on that. So you have all kinds of assets to talk to people about. You just need to start actually targeting the folks. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. This has been recorded. It will be in our coaching blog, and I will see you all soon. Have a great balance of your day.